Oh boy. Alright. Hello, beautiful people. This is Bandwagon Sports Show. And I'm your host, Kate Navarro. This is our first episode. I am happy to be here. I'm fucking tired. And it is fucking cold out here. So, this is hopefully going to be a continuing series Monday through Friday from 9 to 10 a.m. We will be covering the hottest topics in sport. We're going to go over a lot of college football, a lot of NFL, a lot of breaking news. I'm going to go over my fantasy sports, and we're going to have a special segment today called Wagon of the Week, where I select my first ever bandwagon pick of the week. So, let's go ahead and kind of hop right in here. Let me get a little swig of some coffee. Oh yeah, get a little cracked out before we hop in. Ooh. Ooh, wait. Okay. So first of all, I think we're going to start off with FSU not making the college football playoff. I'm going to give kind of my thoughts on that and kind of go over who my team is, who I am supporting, and who my overall bandwagon pick is. So, obviously, FSU not making the playoff. We had top 4 teams making it. Michigan, Washington, Texas, and Alabama. So, big news of the week, Florida State did not make it. Georgia also got completely kicked out. So, a lot of blood was boiling when FSU didn't make it. Obviously, they're at 13-0, undefeated, Power 5 team. I think the committee came up with that they didn't make it because of a select player that got them there was hurt, so they did not let them in. I honestly think it is a tragedy how they didn't make it. I think they should have made the college football playoff. I don't think any of the SEC teams should have made it in. I think Georgia and Bama should have been kicked out. But a lot of people have been hating. A lot of people have been hating. As we see here, we got old Aaron Rodgers giving his take on who should have made the college football playoff. And he said he was a big FSU fan growing up. And I'm a big fan of Aaron Rodgers. Love that he was an anti-vaxxer. Love that he stood up for what was right. Love what he's doing. Love how he's recovering from this ACL tear. But this was a bad take. He's got Alabama should be in and FSU should be in. I don't think Bama should have made it. I mean, obviously Texas had the win over Bama. That trumps him over Bama. So, hey, Aaron, come on, man. Come on. I think now's a good time to give you my overall bandwagon pick of the century. And it is none other than the University of Texas Longhorns. Oh yeah, we are going to be repping UT all day long, every episode. Oh, especially in this college football playoff. We're going to be going Texas fight. So, obviously, when one of your role models like this is giving you the horns down, you don't like to see it. So, Awful pick. But you really gotta hurt for old FSU and Jordan Travis. You wish Jordan Travis some healthy recovery and some good luck going into the draft. So Texas baby is obviously gonna win it all this year. We had some people saying otherwise. We had what was his name? We had Adam Rittenberg giving his picks for the college football playoff. And obviously, we're not very good. Some better than others. But he had college football semifinal at the Rose Bowl. He had prediction Alabama 31, Michigan 23. I do like this pick. I do see Alabama winning this one, especially after Michigan was upset by TCU last year. I think they're the same team. I think J.J. McCarthy, hell of a quarterback, but I think they can only get it done on the run. Jordan Milroe in Alabama, they've definitely stepped it up this last year, especially since playing Texas. So I see Alabama coming out with this win. I do agree with this pick. Next, he had in the other college football semifinal at the Sugar Bowl. Prediction, Washington 37, Texas 33. Obviously, I hate this pick. I think this is an awful pick. I don't think Adam knows what he's talking about. Ever seen what Texas has done? Taking down old Texas Tech, beating them by 50. Going in to the Big 12 championship. All the Big 12 wanted them to lose. And them coming out with a massive victory over Coach Mike Gundy. And shutting out the Pokes in their last ever rivalry. I don't like this pick at all. I think they looked mighty fine going into this. Washington also taking down a powerhouse Oregon Ducks. That was also a very good win. Penix Jr. hasn't been playing very well these last few games, but he's getting the job done. He took down his fellow Heisman candidate, Bo Nix. But as far as this matchup, I think Texas is favored by 4 points. I see Texas taking it to the college football finals. And I see them taking on Alabama. And obviously, handing them 2 losses in the season and revenging the 2009 national championship game. Now, I think with Quinn Ewers healthy, I think with him having a stellar game, I think he gets it done. I think Jordan Milroe, hell of a runner, got a hell of an arm. Not very accurate. He's got a hell of an arm. But I see Texas taking this one all the way. Let's move on to some other college football topics. We got top transfers in the transfer portal. We got Dylan Gabriel. Big news. Oh, D. Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel, obviously, Oklahoma's quarterback took Texas and gave them their only L this year. You gotta love the guy. UCF quarterback transfer, and now Oklahoma about to go to the SEC, and now he's 1 and out of there after a 2-loss season. I don't know if I like this move. I don't know if Oklahoma necessarily if they're like trying to get him out of there, trying to bring in other quarterbacks. Maybe they're telling him he's not going to be able to start next year going into the SEC, but you would think he would want to be on that same team going into the SEC that he was with this past year. Obviously, that's not his plans, but it does look like with Bo Nix getting out of there, it looks like Oregon will be their top, or his top team at the moment. So Dylan Gabriel at Oregon, that could be a pretty crazy team. So maybe he's looking to like move up, go to one of those top 5 teams, one of those teams that's going to get him into the top 12 next year, make him into the college football playoff. But definitely a good move to see for Longhorn fans in that Texas OU rivalry. So love to see that. I think we got Cam Ward right here on the On3 industry transfer portal, top 10 QBs. Cam Ward, Washington State. I only saw him play one game. He had a hell of a game against Washington. Don't know much about it. Will Howard, Kansas State quarterback, good quarterback. Dante Moore, Riley Leonard going with the A&M quarterback or A&M coach. I think he's going to A&M. Kyle McCord, looking at, I think what I saw, Nebraska. DJ Youngalale, I think that's how you say it, something like that. Tyler Van Dyke, Will Rogers, Grayson McCall. Oh, a little Sun Belt quarterback in there. Okay. Yeah, Kyle McCord, I think, wanting to go to, or at least in talks with Nebraska, which is quite odd. I mean, you see a quarterback go undefeated all year, lose to Michigan, and then one out. Or maybe coaches have other plans to pick up new people. Maybe not start them next year. Interesting transfer portal decision right there. But what's new is these quarterbacks. They're getting paid $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million just to transfer. So they're paying some big bucks to get some of these top quarterbacks. So you may see them doing this because of the money, and you see all those top guys, those top 10 quarterbacks we just talked about. You see them wanting to do this because they're making money. And if you're not getting paid somewhere, or you weren't necessarily the starter and you weren't getting paid, then might as well go get your money. But we're starting to see this a ton. Like DJ Youngalale, Clemson quarterback, transferred to Oregon State. Now he is trying to look to go somewhere else. So, I mean, you see these top quarterbacks, these top-ranked quarterbacks, maybe they're not winning it all. Maybe they're looking for a championship. Maybe they're going for the money, but they're getting out of there. So, interesting decisions coming out of the transfer portal. Saw it with old Caleb Williams. I think he's projected to be the top pick in this year's NFL draft. Caleb Williams, not expected to play in this year's Holiday Bowl for USC. It's kind of shocking. I mean, you see all these people, like, they are transferring, you're getting this money. It's not one to play in the bowl game that he got his team to, and he's played for the last few years. Like, you see him even talking about not going to the draft because he doesn't want to play for certain teams. Like, this seems like these players are starting to make these business moves. Business. Business. Transferring to other schools, getting paid, and maybe not landing at a shitty place in the NFL draft. So it's a little odd, but hey, do what you gotta do to make the money. Let's see, moving on to another topic. We got all Heisman quarterbacks. We have all Jaden Daniels, LSU quarterback. Ohio State's Marvin Harrison Jr., Maserati Marv. You got Oregon's Bo Nix for president. You got Washington's Michael Penix Jr. I do like these selections. I think looking at stats, I think we saw, Neighbors for LSU had more receptions, more touchdowns, more yards than Marvin Harrison Jr. Obviously, you had Jaden Daniels throwing it to him. Probably didn't want two LSU players in there. Maserati Marv. I think Washington receiver, can't think of his name, but I think also Washington receiver had just as many touchdowns, if not more yards, than Maserati Marv. So don't see Maserati Marv making this, and I think he is definitely number 4. Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr. You have to think Michael Penix Jr., even though Bo Nix had a hell of a season, you have to think Michael Penix Jr. trumps Bo Nix. Because he's beaten him twice. Beaten him twice this year. He's handed it to him. When it came down to the game of which team's going to make it into the college football playoff, Michael Penix Jr. handed him a fat L. Fat L. I think beating them both by, a field goal. First time, obviously, a missed field goal from Oregon. Tough break for Bo Nix. Did everything he needed to get done. But, see, Bo Nix, number 3. Michael Penix Jr., number 2. And I see my boy, front and center, Jaden Daniels, being the Heisman finalist. The Heisman trophies, whatever it is. Heisman, he's the Heisman. Give it a little Give it a little You did like seeing in the Texas game, Devondre Sweat giving him the little You love a big defensive lineman doing that. It's good for the sport. Well, great for the sport. But old Jaden Daniels was dropping dimes. He was also a transfer quarterback. He came out of the portal. I think the majority of these quarterbacks actually came out of the portal. So portal is big news right now. All these quarterbacks are getting paid. You have to think he got paid. I think Jaden Daniels coming from Arizona State. You had Bo Nix coming from Auburn. You had Michael Penix Jr. coming from Indiana. So all pretty rough universities upgrading to these teams, and obviously it's showing them being top contenders. So interesting choices right here. I think that'll kind of end it for our college football segment. Obviously, remember, you know who I'm rooting for. I'm looking for Texas to get it done. This is a fellow national champion, Vince Young. Hopefully Quinn Ewers can get it done and be that next Texas quarterback to win it all. Cement him into the Texas Longhorn Hall of Fame. Moving on, we're going to talk about quarterbacks in the NFL. Got some quarterbackage. Obviously, this past weekend, Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence getting hurt. I think we've had the most ever quarterbacks hurt in a year. I think for like 10, if not more teams, probably even more, that have been hurt. Daniel Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins. Kenny Pickett is now out. You got Mitchell Trubisky. Mitchell Trubisky. The Trubisky Show. Stepping up. You got Joe Burrow out. You got a ton of quarterbacks in the league hopping out. I don't know if it's just this year or if it's always like this, but I think we've had 50 different starting quarterbacks in the NFL this year. So, pretty crazy that there's so many. It is a little alarming. This is a very violent sport. Like, for my fantasy team, hey, come on, guys, we got to stay healthy. So, you hate to see it, obviously. You hope for a fast recovery. But never like seeing those injuries. Trevor obviously looked very distressed. But just hate to see it for these boys. I mean, also, did y'all see the clip of Trevor Lawrence? I wish I had it on here. Of Trevor Lawrence just hobbling off the field, like high ankle sprain, and I think he's gonna have to undergo surgery or something. But this man, they didn't have a single golf cart in the entire stadium to get him out. He straight up hobbles off of the field with two people helping him off. But I mean, come on, like, get the man, get the quarterback off the field in the cart. It's kind of ridiculous. So, obviously, touching back on this, you got Derek Carr, concussion protocol, Trevor Lawrence, ankle, Kenny Pickett, ankle, Aaron Rodgers, ACL, or Achilles, Anthony Richardson, shoulder, Joe Burrow, wrist, Kirk Cousins, Achilles, Sean Watson, shoulder, Daniel Jones, ACL. So, a lot of top quarterbacks going down in this league. Old Daniel Jones let me down in fantasy. So next topic, we're going to talk about old Tyreek Hilleth, the thirdeth. I'm just getting you first. Tyreek Hill on pace. Tyreek Hill on pace to break Calvin Johnson's receiving record. Old Megatron about to take him down. So this is actually really cool. I think Megatron, as hopefully they show here, has about just under 2,000 receiving yards. One hell of a season, 2012. Wow. Big old dude. Big old monster of a man. Just mossing on everyone. I mean, just Megatroning on everyone. Just, well, keep Megatron on. Another Megatron. So, you got Tyreek Hill on pace to hit over 2,000 yards, which would be insane. Break a record in over a decade that is held up. Tyreek Hill, little man, little speed demon, running down the field. Nobody's covering him. It looks like in these last few games, like almost looks like the NFL's trying to give it to him. maybe that's the storyline. Maybe that's the script for the year, is to get Tyreek to that record. But the man is just looking insane. Like insane in the midbrain. Wow, this is crazy. 2018 season, I don't know if that's when they won the Super Bowl, but already more receptions throughout his full season 2018 than he does this year. Already has more yards, has the same amount of receiving touchdowns, and he's still got a few games left. So that is actually really cool. What a guy. What a guy. I mean, I had him on my fantasy team, and that dude was giving me 20 to 30 points every week. So, dude's a stud. You love that he's fitting in the system, that he's got a quarterback to throw to him. A lot of these receivers don't have a solid quarterback throwing it to them. So, you love to see old Tua just dropping in dimes. Speaking of old Tua, we got Tua on the Manning cast this past Monday. And old Tua was playing the old guitar. Let's see if we can get the sound on this. This is too funny. Jesus, that is bad. Okay, we gotta figure out this sound, a little soundage real quick. Switch it to the HDMI.
Perfect. Great job of using the cadence.
You need to work on your cadence. Singing.
You give me the first one, I will give the first down. I love it. I love it.
You guys are hilarious.
I love it. You don't sing also? You just play? I thought you were singing it. I thought you were busting it out.
Oh, you thought I was singing it? Oh, I that's why we had Peyton. Peyton was jamming.
Yeah.
We were waiting for the second verse with Eli.
So obviously old Peyton hitting the solo, singing his song, and Tua old strumming it on the guitar. This is just a man of many talents. And look, there's more guitars behind him. Man's a strummer. So that is really cool to see. Man, and that is just a man that is just dropping Tyreeks and dimes. I mean, just dropping them right in the breadbasket for him. So, what a guy, what a guy. You hope he has a good season. He stays healthy. Obviously, him having many injuries these past few years, so good to see him doing that. You got all security guards getting thrown out. Like, why is a security guard getting thrown out for the Eagles? We have all. On here. We got all Eagles head of security getting into a little pokey fight with one of the San Francisco 49ers players. Both of them being ejected out of the game. I think Eagles security guard doing his job, trying to keep people safe, just kind of puts his hand out in front of the San Francisco dude, kind of like, hey, back the fuck off, after being multiple fights in this game. And then I think you got San Francisco player doing the same thing to him, giving him a little flick on the face, a little, hey, you got a booger. Get this booger out of there. Then obviously that being huge scuffle, and then security guard, not even player, thrown out of the game, head of security. And San Francisco 49er player ejected from the game. I don't know if you necessarily get this security guard out of the game, like, or head of security, like, he is there to be head of security. Like, let the man do his job. He's doing his job. And I don't think what the San Francisco player did either, like, really warranted getting kicked out. Definitely a funny scenario where you never really see that at all, if any. So, very interesting little predicament right there. Also, on the little MVP train, we are going to give our pick for the MVP race. Right here, it looks like these are our candidates. We got old Brockett Purdy. Hell of a game against the Eagles. Hell of a season. Dude's Mr. Irrelevant. Now he is just dropping dimes to Debo, to Ayuk, to Kittle. Just doing his thing. Got many weapons on that team. Got old Jalen Hurts. Obviously the tush push master. 4th and 1. Any 1 to 2 yard scenario. We're tush pushing it. Give me that tush push. So, 2 NFC quarterbacks right there, and then we got old Dak Prescott. Hell of a performance throughout these last few games. Definitely, I think, cementing himself in those top candidates. I think maybe even number 2, if not number 1. Really killing it, putting up 300 plus yards every game, throwing for 2 to 4 touchdowns every game, killing it at home. Dak really doing his thing. Love to see it. There's always such a huge spotlight on him because he's a Dallas Cowboys quarterback, but he has just been doing one hell of a job. You love to see it. You hope he keeps it up. Old Dak and Miss Prescott. Then you got Tua, who we just talked about. We saw him strumming the guitar. We see him airing it out to Tyreek. Doing his thing. And then we got old Kansas City quarterback, Patrick Mahomes III. For the second. Old Patrick Mahomes. I went to high school with him at White House High School. Got to watch all of his games as a high school quarterback. Watched all his games at Tech. Everyone thought he was overrated. Nobody knew why he was picked top 10 in the draft. Andy Reid saw something, and they got themselves an MVP quarterback, Super Bowl champion quarterback, and he is just doing his thing. And this year, I mean, for him to be in the MVP race with nobody to throw it to except for Kelsey, got like 20 receivers on his team, all dropping balls. You love to see it for Patrick. So, good to see him on there. I don't see him winning it this year. Maybe Super Bowl MVP if he does his thing. But with everyone dropping passes, I mean, I don't see it getting it done. Who I'm riding with this year? Who I am riding with this year? I don't know if you saw my flag just fall. And I don't know if you see the team on my shirt. But I am a Texas boy. And I'm riding with Dak Prescott. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, dimes. All year. He's doing his thing. What a guy! Look at him. You can see his little bulge right here. He's killing it. He's killing it as a quarterback. We have never seen this type of performance from him, and he's got a defense to back him up. I think if they can get everything going together at the end of this year, I think Cowboys win it all. I really do. This is our year. Got Texas getting it done. Oh. Shit. Y'all don't go clipping that. But you got Texas, University of Texas getting to the college football playoff. That means there's some good juju in the air. And I think Dallas Cowboys make it to the NFC championship game. Dak, I think only one win in playoffs against old Thomas Brady this past year. So I see them getting it done. And then they are going to have to step it up. Either beat both San Francisco and the Eagles, or just one of them. But if they can keep it up, an old Dakimus Prime can do his thing. I see Cowboys making it at least to the NFC Championship, if not winning it, and if not winning the Super Bowl. So I'm riding with that. Here we go. All right, now moving on to our fantasy football subject. We're gonna kind of go over some of my team, kind of what's been going on. So this is my first year playing fantasy football ever. First time ever. Didn't know what I was doing. So first let me explain the league. So for our league, we do one quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, tight end, 2 flex positions, and a super flex position. So super flex, I was told we want 2 quarterbacks. So you know who I picked. You already know. Take a guess. Dakimus Prescott, MVP candidate. That dude has been absolutely rolling. Giving me 20, 25, 30 points a week. He has been absolutely rolling, doing his thing. So you'd love to see that. Second quarterback I picked, Daniel Egghead Jones. No, I thought dude runs the ball, he's going to give me a ton of rushing touchdowns. He's an alright quarterback. Didn't do shit for me, got hurt. Running backs, take Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb got his leg amputated. You hate to see it. What was it, Fitzgerald from the Steelers? Just absolutely just decapitated his leg. Nick Chubb only has one leg now. I think I had Dalvin Cook, hasn't seen a snap all year. Oof. And I picked old Tyreek Hill. Getting me 20, 30 points a game. He was doing amazing. Christian Kirk, Michael Thomas, Darren Waller. What was I thinking? Flex positions. Awful players. I don't even need to touch on those. Super flex, obviously, old Daniel Jones. And defense, Kansas City Chiefs. Done stellar this year. Patrick Mahomes actually got a defense this year. So, kind of recent news. My team has fell apart. That's what I started with at the beginning of the year. Now I'm sitting with Dak, Acquired Brees Hall in a trade. Acquired DeAndre Swift in a trade. Tyreek out. Had to trade him. Get some running backs. Get some other players. I got Zay Flowers in. Add Christian Kirk in. Had Tank Dell. Darren Waller. I have replaced with Likely. Let me go get the co-host of this show right here. Buddy, come here. Oh, come here, buddy. Oh, come here, buddy. Oh, come here, buddy. Oh, come here. Oh, come here. Come here. Come here. Buddy. Oh. Oh. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, this is going to be our co-host. Oh, Buddy. Gallardi. Buddy. Buddy. Buddy here. Come here. No. Come here. Come here. Oh, buddy, no. Oh, buddy, come down, buddy. Oh, Bonnie. Bonnie is also a Texas and Cowboys fan. Come on. You gotta get out here. Oh, so obviously, just got Bonnie attacked here everywhere. Good lordy. Gotta love her though. Beautiful dog. We'll show her more on here. We'll have a Bonnie segment for y'all. But back to my team, we got Tank Dell, Christian Kirk as receivers, Zay Flowers. Flex positions, I'm now acquired Noah Brown. We had 2 hell of a games. Not this last game. 2 hell of a games. I think I picked up also Houston tight end. Jordan something. But replacing Dalton Schultz for at least a game. Got me 7-8 points. That's all I really asked for. My shitty team. So did a hell of a job. And then quarterback and old Joe Flacco. And wow, what a job, old Joe Flacco, former MVP, Super Bowl champion, Joseph Flacco. Got me 16 points for not having another quarterback. I will take that. That is solid. Solid. So we will take that. Obviously, recent news from this weekend. We got Tank Dell out. We got Tank Dell, I think, fracturing some type of bone. And he is out for the season. Let's see what they got to say here. Tank Dell. Season-ending surgery on his ankle. Yeah, I think he broke one of the bones, or fractured one of the bones in his ankle. Tank Dell was electric. I picked him up off of waivers. Dude was getting me 20 points every week. Dude was killing it. CJ Stroud's #1 target. Surpassed Nico Collins while he was healthy. One hell of a receiver. Obviously, he is out for the season. So my fantasy team down the drain. But you hope speedy recovery next year. I think that man is going to be a problem. He had a standout year this year, but next year he will really be doing his thing. Other news, you got Christian Kirk, my other receiver. Gets past like a 26-yard ball. Like first play of the game. Out. Says here we had a core muscle injury. I think he's looking to get a surgery too. It looks like all these guys are just getting quick little, stitch them up real quick, little surgeries. So I don't know if he will be coming back maybe last few games of the season, but I just lost 2 of my stud receivers in 1 week. I lost pretty much my whole team. If you look at my team from the beginning of the year, you look at it now, I got nobody left. Except for Dak. Dak's just been holding it down and throwing dimes. Man, rough news. And then, so I'm looking to, I think, pick up some players off waivers. I think this morning, obviously Wednesday, got to pick up some players. 3 open spots. 2 of my flex positions and a receiver position. I think I picked up loading. Minnesota running back, is it Keontae Mitchell or something like that? He has been behind Madison, but he has had some solid games. He looks very explosive. Looks like he could eventually overtake Madison. So hopefully he gets me some points this weekend. Doesn't give me a big old fat goose egg or a 1. That would be very unfortunate. And then also picked up, I think it's Devontae Parker from New England. You don't love what New England's doing. Don't know what they're doing with their quarterback position. But hopefully old Zappy can throw some fucking laser beams to Devontae Parker. Maybe get him in the end zone. I don't think he threw a touchdown this past weekend, but hopefully we can get him in the end zone, get some points. He's also looking to pick up old Zay Jones, who had finally a good game being back once Christian Kirk was out. Ridley didn't have a very good game, but Zay Jones, I think someone else picked him up off of waivers. So, but he dropped Quentin Johnson. And I have had this shittiest player, something Guyton on the Chargers. He is out, and I'm going to put in Quentin Johnson. If I remember right, Texas player. So that'll be exciting. I think he'll be the number 2 wide receiver behind Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's obviously going to get all the balls, but yeah, that is my shitty team for the week. I'm looking to be 5-8, maybe 5-9 going into playoffs. So obviously, your boy's not going to make the top 6. We have to make top 6 in our league, the 14. So that means I'm going to be in the toilet bowl. I'm going to be competing with my boys in the toilet bowl to win a toilet bowl championship. But let's see, another topic. We are going to hop in our first ever Bandwagon Sports segment, the Wagon of the Week, where I select my wagon for this week. Obviously today is Wednesday. We are looking at Thursday night football. I think we got Steelers versus, I think, New England. Could be wrong on that. Could be absolutely wrong on that. So, our bandwagon pick of the week. I think I'm going to be rooting on. Oh, even though I have Devontae Parker. for New England. I'm going to be picking in this game. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers to get it done. Their backup quarterback. I guess they both got backups. Their backup quarterback. Give me Mitchell Trubisky just throwing absolute dimes. Sending Bill Belichick into the shadow realm. Mitchell Trubisky covering the spread. I don't even know what it is. Covering the spread. Throwing 3 touchdowns. Doing his thing. Million passing yards. Yeah, give me old Mitch. And that will be my wagon of the week, where I select a bandwagon team that I think's hot. I think's getting it done. That Steelers defense, obviously killing it. So I think Steelers. I think that is my pick. They're going to cover spread. They're going to win the game. Bailey Zappe's going to throw like 5 interceptions. Get this. I used to have Mac Jones as my super flex quarterback. He got benched second half to old Zappe. I picked up Zappe. And I had him on my team. I was like, you know what? Screw these New England quarterbacks that have not been doing anything for me. Because Mac Jones got me negative points the week before. Screw these New England quarterbacks that don't know how to be a quarterback. Give me Joe Flacco. So, when I talk about the Steelers right here, when I talk about Zappe, not on my team anymore. Mac Jones, not on my team anymore. I want them to absolutely fail. So my bandwagon pick, who I am rooting on, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steal Zappe's heart. Steal it right out. So, that will be my wagon of the week. Alright guys, for our first ever episode, Bandwagon Sports, that is going to do it for us. We are getting out of here. You got to see our co-host. We got to talk about college football. We got to talk about the NFL. We got to talk about my shitty fantasy football team. And I gave you my wagon of the week. So I just want to say, all y'all, have a great week. Go drink your coffee. Get some work done. Let's do this thing. Good ball. Sign it out.